We say this all the time at the Weather Network. Oftentimes the worst winter storms happen in March, and today is very much a testament to that observation. Hi, I'm Chris May, writer, producer, and host of This Day in Weather History from the Weather Network in Canada. A powerful blizzard paralyzed travel in parts of the American plains, producing damaging winds in places that didn't even pick up any snow. But it still caused whiteout conditions and set all new records for low pressure. This day in weather history. Bombogenesis. Sounds like a lyric from a reggae song, but it is in fact the same thing as what we would on the Atlantic coast refer to as a weather bomb. There's the bomb. It is when an area of low pressure will drop in barometric pressure wicked fast. It must at least meet a criteria where it drops 24 millibars of pressure or more in 24 hours or less. That tells meteorologists and forecasters that this low is dropping pressure unusually fast, and they know that this will result in a stronger lifting mechanism for storm formation. This criteria was met in at least 8 locations on March 11th, while also breaking records for how deep it dropped as well. Storms will experience a severe pressure drop that are crushed against or pushed by an area of high pressure, and that produces a gradient that will undoubtedly result in strong winds along the gradient, and this storm did this with gusts that hit 90 miles per hour or 145 kilometers per hour in several spots. Now, we here in Canada do not name winter storms, but this is the United States, and they named it Winter Storm Ulmer, and it got its actual start on March 10th when 2 areas of low pressure rolled their way down the west coast. The first of the 2 was the driver. It was the more potent low, and it traveled fast. It slid down the coast from NorCal to the Baja, while the second and weaker low started in the Pacific Northwest. And it was a snowmaker. The Pacific Northwest was hit first, then the mountains of SoCal, followed by the Four Corners, before setting off like a rocket across the now free and open flat land of the Great Plains states. Remember that this day in weather history can be enjoyed a number of ways. Right now you're listening to the full version of today's story on your favorite podcast provider. Thank you. But there's also the daily podcast video short. They're shot right here in my recording studio, so you get that perspective, and oftentimes they will include visuals from that day's event from when it happened in weather history. So after listening to the full story, go check out the podcast video short on television in Canada or online anytime, anywhere at theweathernetwork.com/weather history. All right, let's take a deep breath and break down the events of March 12th and 13th into its many pieces. The Central Plains. Ulmer went crazy when its central pressure plummeted from 994 millibars on the evening of the 12th to 968 by the afternoon of the 13th. Pueblo, Colorado. On the morning of March 13th, this day in weather history, they set an unofficial all-time record low pressure according to the National Weather Service. It was said to have been the lowest pressure on record there, dating back almost 70 years. Dodge City, Kansas. Here it also hit a modern-day low-pressure record dating back to 1960 by dipping down to 974.7 millibars of barometric pressure. Denver, Colorado. Winter Storm Ulmer set records for both wind and pressure here. According to the National Weather Service, the wind was a total erasing of the previous mark. In this storm, a gust of 80 miles per hour, that's almost 130 kilometers per hour, was measured around noon Mountain Time on the 13th, while heavy snow was falling at the same time. The deepest low pressure of 979 millibars bested the previous city's old record of 979.9, and that was on February 25th of 1998. And the wind gust broke the old record for highest non-thunderstorm wind gust. That was only 63 miles per hour, set 10 years prior, almost to this day, in 2009. But while that sounds impressive, Colorado Springs recorded a gust of just under 100 miles per hour. It was approaching 160 kilometers per hour on the 13th. Oh, and this was all while thunder snow was reported in the eastern half of the state. Yeah, everything was happening in this one. Now, here are some rapid-fire details from this storm. Try to keep up. Casper, Wyoming had its second snowiest March day on record, picking up well over a foot of accumulation. A train was blown off the tracks in northern New Mexico. Winds gusted to 104 miles per hour, that's 167 kilometers per hour on San Agustin Pass, and 100 miles per hour, 161 kilometers per hour at Cloudcroft. Several tractor-trailers were blown over in the Texas Panhandle, while in Pine Springs, Texas, they experienced a 103 mile per hour gust, and that was about 166 kilometers per hour. There was more than enough damage to go around for all who were affected this day in weather history. Tomorrow is March 14th, and it was one that those in Atlanta, Georgia will not soon forget. Between March 14th and 15th of 2008, 45 tornadoes hit the southeast United States. The shocking 24-hour and 7-minute event is commonly referred to today as the 2008 Atlanta tornado outbreak. That's tomorrow, on This Day in Weather History, with me, your host, Chris May.